Hello my lovelies, welcome back to another video. My name is Gemma and today we are doing my December TBR. So, for those that caught my end of the year book tag, which I did, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks ago, you will know that one of the things I'm changing, and I'm changing it early, I'm changing it for this month, is that I will only be doing one round of my TBR game, TBR 21's from now on. That is to allow me a bit more flexibility in the month to read stuff for other projects, so whether that's buddy reads, read-alongs, book clubs, sort of stuff for content for you guys. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. So potentially some months I could only have 2 books on my TBR. If I pulled a 10 and an ace, I would only have 2 books for my TBR game. So we'll see how it goes today, but that is the plan. So before we get into the actual game, I just wanted to run through with you how I did last month and what buddy reads, read-alongs, etc. I have got coming up in December. So first of all, how did I get on last month? So last month I overcommitted on a massive scale. Let's be honest. I wanted to do all of the things, so I clearly didn't complete them all, but how I did was this. So the first thing I was participating in was Non-Fiction November, which was hosted by a book olive, and there were 4 sort of buzzwords for that, and I did complete 2. So I completed the collection prompt buzzword, and for that I read It's Not About the Burqa, which was edited by Mariam Khan. I will give you my thoughts on everything I've read in my wrap up, which will be coming next week. I am also currently listening on audio to Hood Feminism by Mikki Kendall, which is the book I picked for the treatment prompt. So 2 out of 4. We're going to call that a success. Next, I was participating in Digithon, which is hosted by Bear at Etu Brody and Michelle at Thor Wants Another Letter. I will link everyone below for you to check out, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And for that, again, well, sort of 2. The first one was for the elder protagonist prompt, and for that I picked up the last report on the miracles at Little No Horse. Unfortunately, I DNF'd that, but we'll talk about that in my wrap up. The other one was Where the Dead Sit Talking, which I was using as my sort of free pick for the prompts that was read a book written by an Indigenous person from the land that you come from. But because I'm British, I just used it as a free pick, and this is the one. I haven't actually started it yet, but it is next up, and I still have a week-ish before the end of the month at filming, so I'm hoping that I will have at least started this. Probably not finished it, but I'm hoping to start this in the next few days. The next readathon that I signed up for was the Autumn Book Hibernation, hosted by Simon Savage at Savage Reads, and I kind of failed because I only actually finished one prompt within the 2-week readathon, and that was the cozy read prompt, and I read Serpentine on my Kindle by Pullman for that one. But I am also currently reading the group book, which was The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. I'm about 60% through that, so again hoping to finish that before the end of the month. Also, by luck rather than judgment, I am reading Farenheit 451, which I had highlighted as an option for the bonfire prompt, and I'm actually reading that now with the Eclectic Book Club, which is hosted by Shelley Swearingen and David Wiley. So that one will definitely be finished by the end of the month. I'm about halfway through at the moment, but it's super short. So yeah, so three, though not actually within the space of the readathon, but within the space of November. The fourth readathon that I participated in was Believeathon, hosted by How to Train Your Gavin. And for this, I only picked 2 prompts because I knew I wouldn't get too much. The first one was for a short read, and I read Serpentine, which was also relevant for the autumn book hibernation. Hang on, that's my door. One moment. Okay, I am back. So, yep, read Serpentine for the short one, and then for the, I think it was a winter vibes prompt or something like that, I chose Nevermoor, which I'm currently reading with my now 9-year-old. He was 9 at the weekend. But yeah, we're 50 pages in and we're quite enjoying this so far. But yeah, again, I will wrap this up when I'm finished, but it's not going to be this month, clearly. So then we move on to my actual TBR game books that I picked. Sorry, that was my thoughts sort of went a bit weird in the middle of that sentence. So the first card I picked was Queen of Hearts, which was for a 5-star prediction in any format. I chose Miracle Creek by Angie Kim on audio, and I have read that. Next was 10 of Hearts, which was for a POC author, again, any format, which I chose Where the Dead Sit Talking, which, as we discussed earlier, I will be picking up very shortly. Then there was an award winner on audio, and I chose The Confessions of Frannie Langton by Sara Collins. I haven't got onto that. Then there was 9 of Spades, which was a classic on my Kindle. I probably should have mentioned this one actually in my autumn book hibernation, but for that I chose The Fall of the House of Usher by Edgar Allan Poe. I DNF'd that. So yeah, I count it as read for the sake of this, but I DNF'd it. Then King of Spades, which was a new release on audio, and I chose Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. I have not read that. 5 of Hearts, a book in a series, any format. I chose The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemsion. I have not read that. And then 4 of Diamonds, which was a BookTuber rec on my Kindle. I chose The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. And as I mentioned before, I'm about 60% in. I did also have to pick from the cup of intimidating reads, and I picked A Little Life by Hanya Yanigahara. Unfortunately, I just haven't had a chance to get to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the little slip of paper, boop, and I'm going to put it back in the jar. So unfortunately, I did really want to get to this, but man, I just overcommitted is what happened. So that is a whistle-stop tour of how I did last month. Not great, but I sort of did a bit of everything. So yeah. So coming up this month, I do have a few things already planned. The first thing is a read-along of House of Leaves by Mark Z. Danielewski, which I am reading, which is hosted by Sina over at Beating Around the Books. And there's a huge group of us now on Voxer who are going to be reading this. So excited to get started with that. I am also doing a buddy read with the delightful Becky over at Teacup the Storyteller. And we are going to be reading The Winter Sea by Susanna Kearsley. I heard very good things about this. Nikki over at Red Dot Reads recently reviewed it, said it's fabulous. So excited to start, and I have like tabbed our weekly chapters. So yeah, I will be reading this one. And last but by no means least, for the Eclectic Book Club, we will be reading, oh, you can't see that very well, The Iliad by Homer. I have this super cute little edition. I know it has like a name, what these editions are called. Macmillan Library, maybe? But yeah, so I will be reading this. I haven't yet decided whether I'm going to try and read it in this format, because this is tiny. Look, it's like the size of my hand. It's tiny, tiny. And the text is tiny, tiny. So I may get a different version out on Kindle. I may get the Penguin translation, because I saw Ben over at Doom Antidote review it last month before, and said it was a really accessible translation. So I might start with this, see how I get on, and if I'm finding it a bit too much of a ball ache to read the tiny, tiny text, or I don't like the translation, then I am going to switch to the Penguin edition, which I will just get on my Kindle. So is that everything? Is it everything? Yes, it is. So let's jump to the whole point of this video after however many minutes with a door answering and everything else that's happened in between, and see what books I pick this month from my TBR game. Okay, so we are ready to start. So, card number 1. We have, okay, so a joker hasn't come up before, but a joker basically doesn't count towards my, my 21's. This is just an extra book that I need to pick up, and it's an arc. So my arcs are out of control. It is going to be one of my 2022 goals to try and pick up some of my arcs and get them under control, and my NetGalley score looking a bit more stable. But yeah, so I need to pick up an arc this month, which is good. It's good. Okay, so first pick, Joker. Of course. So for this, I am just going to pick the next arc on my list due to be released, and that is The Unravelling by Polly Crosby. This, I think, is due for publication in the UK the 6th of January. And this is a historical fiction, dual timeline, and it focuses on 2 women who are on sort of like this mysterious island, doing butterfly research, but there's some like secrets and history and all that sort of jazz. Sounds really intriguing, really keen to give it a go. Gorgeous cover. If I can find one, I probably have already put it up. But yeah, so that is my first pick. Okay, so maybe we'll get a proper card this time. So 6 of Diamonds. So Diamonds is a book on my Kindle, and that is a Goodreads Choice Awards pick. So obviously the 2022 nominations are out now, so we'll see what we can find for that. Okay, so a Goodreads Choice Awards nominee on my Kindle. For this one, and I am going to pick from the 2022 list now, because why wouldn't I? And I'm going to pick She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. Now, I know this has had some mixed reviews, but I think it's a bit of a historical fiction, fantasy mishmash, which are my 2 favourite genres. So this should be right up my street. I think where the more negative reviews have come in, it's where people are more historical fiction readers and not fantasy readers. It's just my general observation. I could be completely wrong. But I really, really would like to pick it up, and it has been nominated in 2 categories, the debut author and I think also the fantasy. So yeah, so I'm going to pick that one up for this prompt. Next, okay, a 4, and we have Spades, and we need a booktuber rec, and Spades is an audiobook. Okay, 4 of Spades, so a booktuber rec on audio, and for this I'm going to go for The Smell of Other People's Houses by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. So this was recommended to me by Bookish Gems. Quite a while back when I did the Stock, Aitken and Waterman challenge, I tag, I'll link it up above. If you haven't done it, you should definitely do it because it's a really fun one. Original creator was Jennifer Loves Books for that tag, and she's lovely, really, really lovely. Go check her out. But anyway, the point is, Bookish Gems, who's also lovely, you should also check her out, recommended this book to me in that tag. And I think it's a sort of coming of age story based in Alaska. So I think this is a lovely time of year to read sort of fiction set in Alaska, and I love a good coming of age story. So I am going to pick that one for this prompt. So we're at 10. If I pull an ace now, we are finished. But what is the likelihood of that happening? I would say close to 0. And I was right. So we now have a clubs, which is a physical book, and a 7, which is chunky. So I need a chunky physical book. Okay, a physical chunky book. So it could be any of these really, but I'm going to pick The Winter Sea, the one that I'm buddy reading with Becky at Teacup the Storyteller. This has just over 500 pages, I think. Yeah, so anything over 500 pages I count as chunky, so we'll put this one on for that prompt. And that takes us to 17. So we are now in the danger zone, guys. Danger zone. If I have 4 or below, that's fine. If not, I'm going to have to pick from the mug of intimidating reads, which is waiting here patiently. So let's see what we get. Yeah, that's not a 4 or below. So we have Hearts, which is any format, but we need an award winner. Okay, and almost the last book. Did you see how optimistic I was at the beginning of this video? And I said, I could only pull 2 books. And what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is number 5, and I still have to pick from the jar. Mug. Anyway. This is an award winner, and I can have it in any format. I'm going to go for audiobook here just because I have all the physical books are quite hard going. So I'm going to choose the winner of this year's Booker Prize, which was The Promise by Damon Galgut. I don't know loads about it. It's set in South Africa. I think it follows a white family, and there's racial themes in it. I don't really know how it all ties together. That's all I know. I know that some people loved it, some people hated it, and there were quite a lot of people in the middle. But I think when I saw Kieran at KD Books review it, he said it was like the popular choice, which that's fine with me. I love a popular book, so I'm going to give that one a go for this. So it's that time, guys. It's time to pick from the mug of intimidating reads. So you saw at the beginning of this video that I did bob a little life back into here. So potentially that could come up again. But yeah, let's just see what we get. So oh my good God. The Pillars of the Earth. Holy moly! So this is by Ken Follett. I don't really know a super lot about this apart from it's really long and it's something to do with building a cathedral. Larry over at Larry Has Opinions absolutely loves this book, talks about it all the time. I do really want to read it, but holy crap, that is a big book to go on my TBR this month. So yeah, let's see how that goes, shall we? The Pillars of the Bloody Earth. Okay. So let's put that device of torture back up there. So yeah, we've got a few books there. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus an additional 2 for read-alongs, book clubs, because I managed to get my buddy reader onto that TBR. So yeah, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. If anyone has read any of these and wants to give me some moral support, please drop it below. Yeah, let's see how we go. Though I am off between Christmas and New Year. The company that I work at has compulsory shut down, so I do technically have like a week off work. But as you'll know if you've watched my channel before, 3 kids and a dog and a husband. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, so these are the only physical books that I've got for this month. But yeah, audiobooks and Kindle books. So yeah, thank you very much for listening. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, liking, commenting. I love all of those things. So thanks very much, guys, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.